Hello and welcome to episode 21 of Table of Geequals. I am a host, PigMonkey.
I am another host, Alex.
And spoiler alert, no bitching. So
wait, we're 21 now.
Yeah, we're 21.
We can drink in the States.
Yeah, we're good enough to drink
amazing.
in the States. Yeah. Yeah, it only took like 3 months to get there, which...
3 months after the initial...
Yeah. Yeah.
I honestly, I can't believe it's only been 21.
I know, it feels like we've been doing this forever. I'm so sick of you.
I know, really though. Like, and last we were talking
it was
about...
the first time we've seen in about a month.
I'm just fucking PigMonkey, god damn it. Yeah.
And today with us we have Andrew Burke.
Hi there.
And Leo Melanson.
Hey there.
Andrew, so you do the Starship Start here.
Yeah.
And I talked to you about this at the last HowCom, but it's a really interesting story. You want
to... well, basically, as everyone else probably remembers, a few years ago, there was Ship Start here, was everywhere. And I used to get together with my friends over lunch and whatever. We'd all just joke about, like, funny alternate names, riffing on that. Shit starts here, or ship stop here, all that kind of stuff. And then one night I was... have an early night. I was just going to bed, checking Twitter, and I saw somebody had actually registered Shit Starts here. And I'm like, man, if I want to do this, I better do it right now. So I immediately got on and registered Starship Start here before anybody else did it. And then I was just going to put a placeholder, just a title, and that would be it. And I just got sort of carried away and ended up drawing these little pictures and doing some really cheap Photoshop work. Actually, it wasn't even Photoshop. It was Pixelmator, which is sort of a cheap Photoshop knockoff. And I had so much fun doing that I sort of made it a one-page site, then made it sort of a photo blog. And then I put a little thing on it saying, if anybody else has any ideas on what they'd like, send an email to this address. And I just my inbox became like the funniest place on the internet for a while. It's all these people sending these amazing pictures. And it turned into this whole crowdsourced sort of awesome thing.
So what request was your favorite to see?
Oh, well, people sent in the actual pictures.
Oh, okay. So
pictures, yeah.
Which one is the favorite that you've done, and which one's the favorite that you...
Oh, gosh, we're about 200 now, so there's been so many. Possibly the first one that really blew me away, and the sort of the iconic one that's been the most popular, I think, is Kirk versus Gorn at Peggy's Cove. By the subtitle being "We have the best styrofoam rocks in the galaxy," and it's exactly what you would imagine. It's Kirk and Gorn, and those rocks at Peggy's Cove. It's a guy named Gnostatron who just submitted some of the best stuff. I can't remember where he lives. I think he lives in Sydney or something. And he comes in for HowCon.
Yeah,
and but he's done some amazing stuff. That was one of the best. And I think my favorite of the ones I did was it took a bunch of work, and often the ones you work on the hardest don't tend to come out so well because I'm not that great at this kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But I'd seen in the news that one of the members of Picnic Face was trying to get into this Metro newspapers thing to be sent into space. They had one of these like low orbit space tourism sort of things. Okay. Not orbit, just up and down kind of thing.
That was Brian McQuarrie.
No, it was Cheryl Hahn. I forgot. I blanked on the name. It was Cheryl Hahn. She was really eager to get into space, and she was one of like the top 4 in the number of votes. And so I actually took a shot of all of the crew of the Voyager on the bridge of the Voyager, and I replaced all their faces with Picnic Face.
Nice.
With all the different people in Picnic Face, including one person twice. And I made her the captain. I replaced Janeway with Cheryl Hahn.
Nice.
And that was certainly the one that came out the best. It was sort of really fun and got a lot of...
Cool.
And I actually saw one of the guys from Picnic Face on an airplane just a few months ago, and I wanted to jump up in front of him and say, "Hey, look, I did it." I didn't, but I thought that would be...
You should.
I should.
I know those guys.
Yeah.
They would be shocked, but probably would appreciate it in a Andy Kaufman sense.
I know they've seen the picture. I just don't know if they'd want some random person coming up at them, just before.
Well, that's half the fun.
Getting on a multi-hour
plane in my
flight.
mind, if you're a celebrity, you have to be ready to be ambushed by people who want your photograph. That's one of the hassles of being a celebrity. I mean, that is what it is. And you have a choice then. You can say yes, or you could say no. and you could be an asshole about it. And that's completely your choice. But you got to be ready to be hassled. That's
Hi,
half
it's a
the
5-hour
fun.
flight. Can I sit next to you? Do you
Yeah,
mind? Hey.
yeah. Yeah, I sat next to one of the Trailer Park Boys
There you go.
on a flight from Toronto, and it wasn't until I got off that somebody told me, you knew you were sitting next to the Trailer Park Boys. I'm like, no, no, not a clue. Never seen a single episode. I love that.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff I like the most, when you're near somebody famous and you have absolutely no clue and you just couldn't give a shit, and you can't give this person the time of day because they're in your fucking way, and it's just another human being. Not a special human being at all, just another mouth breather who's taken up your air.
I am terrible at identifying famous people. Some people are really good at saying, oh my god, that person over there, they were an extra in this one episode. And I'm like, maybe George Clooney or something like that, or but that's about all I would recognize, like, in a crowd.
I have trouble identifying people I know personally.
Exactly.
Terrible with names and faces.
What's going on with you, Leo?
At the moment, we're starting back up with improv. I'm part of the GAS troupe, which is a class that was taught by Brian McQuarrie. So that's starting up again soon. Yeah, another one of the picnic face. It all comes around. So our next show will be a week from this recording day, so the 18th of September. I'm not sure when this airs. So
This usually on Friday.
Friday or Saturday.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Depending on how motivated I am to get it done on Friday. But
now you have
Saturday
this
is the latest.
timestamp.
Well, I mean, the day after I get it, I don't listen to it, and then the day of, I load it up and I start listening to it and get distracted, and then Saturday comes and I go, holy shit, I didn't put the show out yesterday. So that's usually my process for the weekly show.
Panic really is the greatest motivator.
It really is.
It is indeed.
It's what I use to regulate my attention deficit. My life is highly disorganized with short, brief spurts of panicked organization.
Everything you do is like 5 minutes planned before you do it.
No. It's planned out. It's just not done before. It's like everything's planned, and I know how everything works. I just don't want to do it.
I made it through 2 degrees doing that. So.
Yeah, I found the writing comes much easier if it's right before the papers do.
Oh, yeah.
Discovered.
You just,
It just flows.
you have
much,
all these
much
ideas
better.
banging around in your head, and you just let them kind of condense.
Congeal.
And
Yeah.
congeal, yes,
They're
into
more-
some sort
they're more
of
congealed.
and some sort of into some sort of understandable form in your head. Let that happen for 3 months,
Yeah.
and then the night before this term paper is due,
Freak out and
say,
hammer that.
it just comes out of your brain through your eyeballs onto the computer magically somehow. I don't remember. Something about having 18 cups of coffee just fries your
was a
memory.
blur.
Kind of like what happens. I don't know. Yeah, and then bam,
There it is.
2 degrees. My lifespan has been significantly shortened because of the heightened state of
Vomiting
panic,
through your
anxiety,
eyes.
and all of the
See, that's
the
the only
disgusting caffeine. And...
panic and anxiety that I generally feel is when I get into that, because I don't know, I'm not lazy. I'm diagnosed with severe attention deficit. So the people like that tend to regulate with adrenaline, and I found out when I was 36. So I had 36 years of like just waiting until that moment of panic when I can focus. It's like it's amazing what I can get done when I'm in like an adrenaline fueled state of focus. I've put out I've had full podcasts that have completely failed. Like they didn't save nothing. It was just awful. And I'm like, I got to do it again. I have 4 hours. It took me 7 to get this done. Well, looking at it isn't going to do, and I get it done with an hour to spare. I'm like, I bend time.
And you filed
when
next
I'm
year's
freaking
taxes.
out.
No, it's great. Panic is a great motivator. Yeah.
My ass is on the line.
It's going out in front of a crowd.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
preparing presentations the night before, like possibly how my first zombie talk at Halcon was prepared. Just the night before, like, oh yeah, I gotta do this.
that.
Okay. I will say that one or two of the shows in the first season of Geeks versus Nerds were not entirely written down. There were times where I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I don't know, I'll just make it up while I'm up there.
You know what though? Sometimes that panic also translates into, you know, moments of comedy gold.
Oh yeah. I mean, personally, I prefer having just an idea of what I'm going to do and not any real concept. That's changed since we've added pictures. It's kind of hard to have John Roy go and search up pictures while I'm talking. So.
It would kind of
Get on that, John Roy, faster.
Let's go.
Use the Googles.
Prove your worth, John Roy.
Let's get on to the.
So, well, I was just going to say.
Yeah.
So, getting back to your improv.
Yeah.
I was going to say, speaking of improv,
September 18th.
September 18th is the next show. It's actually part of a big show presented by the Make 'em Ups, which is an improv troupe that just started here, an improv comedy, I should say. So it's Brian McQuarrie, Owen, Stephanie, a bunch of people just all got together. It's like, let's form this company. So, and since we were part of the class that Brian was teaching, we're invited to perform in those shows within the first half. So, gonna be there. Come out and see it.
That's awesome. And
and it's at the Bus Stop Theater on Gottingen.
Theater? Is there an admission fee?
Yeah, it's $7 for regular, for everyone, general admission right now. But I believe you can show up significantly earlier to the show, pay only $5, and you get to both take this quick workshop with Owen and be in like the first 10 minutes in which they showcase like stuff they've done in that 10 minutes. So it's a pretty good deal.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Great. So September 18th, I'm sorry, what time?
At, I forget sometimes because I need to show up before the time, but I believe the show itself starts at 8.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. I'll definitely try to make it out.
Are you doing anything geeky right now?
I am slinging, not slinging phones. I'm teaching people every day some cool stuff about their phones, and as is my job now.
Okay.
And I'm really enjoying it, I gotta say. I find that to be a bit of a geeky pursuit. I mean, it's basically a pocket computer.
Technology.
Like, I've got to say, like, in the 2 weeks, or sorry, no, I've been there 3 weeks now. In the 3 weeks I've been doing this training gig, I've learned more about my Samsung, my Samsung S3, than I had the prior year of having it. So there's definitely a lot out there to learn about your phones. If anybody has any questions, I mean, hey, that's what I'm here for. That's my job.
Huzzah!
I get paid to play with phones.
That's nice.
And show people everything they can get out of their phones. So it's great. And also, a lot of my coworkers are closet nerds. Actually, one of my coworkers, whose wife just started there as well, this is the best. They're, like me, both Sith fans. They both agree that the Jedi are horrible.
The bad guys?
They are. They are terrible people. You know, like, oh, no extreme emotions of any kind, and do or do not, there is no try, and only Sith deal in absolutes. That's bullshit. That is an absolute. It's the most bullshit statement that, well, okay, no, I'm not going to say that I've ever heard in those movies because, well, we all know how George Lucas does with dialogue.
The prequels.
It gets everywhere.
No
more sand.
So this, I meant,
Come on, man! No more sand!
Anakin was a complicated man. But there's this really great couple there who share my love of the Sith, and one of them, like, they have a matching set of tattoos in whatever, I can't remember what the Sith writing is called, the Sith calligraphy, or the language rather. but in that language.
Wouldn't be Scythian, would it?
No, I don't think so.
Scythy.
Scythish.
Scythish.
Scythies.
I like Scythies.
Scythies.
Yeah, Scythies.
Although it kind of sounds like a
That's gonna
pet
end
name
up-
to a group of Sith. Hey, Scythies!
It's the Sith band.
Me and my Scythies. We're going down.
We're gonna go cause some trouble in that Jedi compound.
We've said it
Brah,
so often,
brah.
it's going to end
It's
up in the
Darth
Oxford
Maul
Dictionary
and
now.
the Scythies.
I like
Oh,
it.
that's a
like
metal
a
band.
funk.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking like funk.
A funk band.
Yeah,
that's
like
true.
and the Smithies.
Yeah, there
I
you
like,
go.
or Smithies.
Smithies.
And the
Alan
Smithies.
Smithies.
Yeah. No, but on her arm it says "I love you," and on his arm it says "I know."
Oh, bravo.
Right? So it's anyway. So I've got all these nerds that I'm working with, and it's great. I'm gonna try to drag some of them out to the GVN
For
show,
sure,
and so every
Which
day
is
a little
coming
bit-
up next week.
Yes, on Tuesday, correct? Yeah, on the 17th.
Yeah, it's going to be... it's been a long time coming back. I'm very happy to be coming back to the...
I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
So that's your geek news of the week. I
Oh,
guess.
I have so much geek. Apart from that, I am...
Is this a contest? Oh, I have
Yeah,
so
the
much,
contest.
I have so much geek.
Yeah, well, I actually, what I'm going to do, I think, is hand out free stickers to everybody who votes for me on You Create Comics.
Okay.
YouCreateComics.com is it's a company that's reader base drives what they develop. So right now there's a $50,000 development deal for the stories. That includes paying the artist, paying the writer. If you're not the writer, you can just be developing the story and have a writer write it for you, and getting the distribution and all that kind of stuff. That's their deal. And the person who's in the lead has something like 85 votes. So I think what I'm going to do is bring down a computer to like you could just log in with Facebook and then go to mine and click vote. It takes about 20 seconds to vote for me. And for that, I'll give you a Geeks vs. Nerds sticker. I want to be in the lead by the time I leave that place that night, because it's a great opportunity. And I've been talking about this story for ever, and
Nice.
people are getting tired of me talking about it, so it's a
So
put up
you're
or shut
now-
up time.
You're now prepared to buy their votes with
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
That's
right.
awesome.
See, I'm
Own it.
Oh hell yeah,
Yeah,
man! The Sith got nothing on me.
So what you're saying is people who are listening to this right now shouldn't vote right now, but instead wait until they actually see you so they can get a free sticker.
Well, okay. I happen to know how many people listen to this podcast.
Do I want to know, or is it
You probably don't want to know. So I'll tell you what. I am so confident that if you vote for me, like by listening to this podcast and go to youcreatecomics.com and vote for Leftovers, and you come up to me at the show, I will give you a sticker, because I won't go through more than 30 stickers. So no, there's more than 30 people. But I won't go through more than 30 stickers. Let's get on with the Week in Geek. So, big news for tech heads and phone geeks. This is perfect for you. The iPhone 5C and 5S has been announced. It's the first handheld. It's the first mobile device with a 64-bit processor in it. They're saying it'll run like the desktops that you had 5 years ago, and that's not a good thing, because
No.
the desktop I was buying 5 years ago was, from 10 years ago. And,
Well, I guess I haven't gone deep into it. I was really busy today. It looks like they'll be out on the 22nd. I was on a side note. I was really hoping, and I was hedging my bet, that Samsung, being the little upstarts that they are, and I'm a huge Samsung fanboy, I love everything they've created as far as smartphones are concerned.
I like that they've stolen it pretty much from Apple.
Well, Apple's stolen it pretty much from
BlackBerry.
Microsoft. Like,
Wow.
they're the initial concepts for a lot of
Yeah.
these things. Anyway, like, and, you know, I don't want to get into all the thievery, although I do think that saying, like, the swipe motion is something that you can patent. That's bullshit. Just like I think it's just as much bullshit as patenting genomes. Anyway, I was really hoping Samsung would actually either have an announcement or a release, either directly after the Apple announcement or like the day after the Apple announcement. So I was just hoping that they would just come in and be all, like, so Apple announced what they were doing, and then Samsung just comes out and says, like, yeah, you announced it. Here's our new phone. Bam! And it's on the shelves now. Like, I was kind of hoping
I think that was the watch they had last week. That was their big announcement.
Yeah, the Gear stuff. And
What?
Yeah.
Well, there's the Samsung.
Samsung, yeah.
What's that?
It's a little watch thing. I'm not going to be carrying it, unfortunately. But
It's so what? It's
like a smartphone watch.
so we've gone
Full
back.
circle.
Yeah, we've
Full
gone
circle.
back even further. We're now back into Dick Tracy.
Pretty much. But no, I guess the iPhone has been pretty like the new iPhone has been pretty poorly received. Apple's stocks went down today.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not a huge Apple guy. It's the phone that I'm least comfortable with. I've got a BlackBerry as a work phone right now.
Mm-hmm.
I actually love it. BlackBerry is a lot of fun.
The new ones are really nice, actually.
They are.
Is that the one with the keyboard you got?
Yep,
You're
the
reading it?
Q10.
Nice. Okay.
The Q5 was just released more recently, and it's like if this is the sports car, that's like the basic edition. I've got to say, some of the motions that come with the Q10 are so intuitive that I'm now trying to use those on my Samsung. So like that to me says that they're doing something right. Anyway, sorry to get all
No,
phone
it's
guy.
Cool. We're talking about phones.
No,
Now.
yeah,
Now
but
is the time
iPhone,
to talk about it.
iPhone. Honestly, my problem with iPhone and anything Apple for that matter, it's a double-edged sword. They've been so good at making things user-friendly and making things accessible and making themselves the brand when it comes to smartphones and tablets that, in my opinion, they're contributing to the lack of computer literacy and just
Yeah,
the
but
lack
they've
of
always
understanding.
been doing that.
I know, and I'm not, but that doesn't excuse it.
Well, but that's always been their market share. Their market share is, we've got computers for you, the fucking idiot.
And there's always going to be like someone like on the bottom, like the easiest thing to use. And
Yes, true. Unfortunately, because of their brand power and their marketing prowess and the fact that they have been able to get their phones and like pretty much into everybody's hands. You've at least used an iPhone.
I never have.
Okay, most people have at least used an iPhone.
Here,
They've
try
at
this
least
one.
yeah. As a point of pride, never touch one now.
I could really care less.
No, I know. My issue, though, is we have a growing cohort of young people coming up. Now, everybody always says, "Oh, yes, my son or daughter will show me how to use my phone or show me how to use my computer." No, they will show you how to use Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. That's it. Maybe how to play a game on Steam. Do they know how to actually go into the computer and diagnose a problem or fix a problem?
Well,
no.
Some of them do.
Some of them do. I read a really interesting article that was forwarded to me by my wife, basically talking about how kids today, we're raising a generation of computer illiterate children, and why it's a problem. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox.
I'm curious. What?
Well,
Yeah.
one of the things he says, and it is a generalization. It's not based on any hard figures, but he's somebody who works in the education field as a teacher, but also like the IT guy for the school. He does all the computer training and everything, and he figures school systems have made several mistakes. One of which is listening to Microsoft in terms of Microsoft saying, what you should be teaching kids when it comes to computers. And hey, that just so happens to be the Microsoft Office suite. That's all apparently you need to teach kids, and occasionally Adobe. When really we should have been focusing on open source software, as well as, you know, how to actually go into the operating systems and find things.
When I was in school taking computer classes, we were doing Unix.
Yep.
We learned Unix in
But
in
that
high
was
school.
when not everybody was taking computer things, unless you were part of where were you going to high school?
In Ontario.
Okay. By and large, most people's experiences with computer classes is not doing things like that. That to me sounds.
This is like the first.
Yeah.
Run.
So it
like,
was. So it wasn't.
We
It
got
wasn't
computer
that
labs
it wasn't something
and a
that
new
was
computer
mandated.
person, and they went.
Yeah. So it wasn't something that was mandated or controlled by a government.
No.
Then the second thing is, I'm kind of losing where I'm going here, but basically he makes the point that, you know, 20, 30 years ago, well, I guess more like 20 years ago, you had 5% of the population had a computer or had regular access to a computer, and 95% of them were computer literate. Okay? Like a personal computer, not like a work typing machine.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas today, 95% of the population has access to a computer, and you could probably say that only 5% are truly computer literate.
Well,
Like, no, I'm sorry.
But I mean,
when I say computer literate, I don't mean like, okay, being able to install Microsoft Office. I'm talking about being able to go into the computer and actually fix a problem yourself.
Okay. Well, I went.
I don't mean mechanically. I mean like pieces of the computer. I mean going
like
in
fixing the operating system.
Yeah, or reinstalling the operating system even. Most people can't do that.
Well,
That's why tech services like the Geek Squad
Right.
are able to exist and charge outrageously high prices.
I feel bad for that. I've always said that. I mean, I could undercut them and still live like I could undercut them by $20 an hour and still live like a king. And I can do most of those because most of it's people who didn't turn on their porn filter or didn't download stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You know, I don't know.
Anyway, I'll send you the article.
You're an iPhone developer.
I do various kinds of software, but yeah, one of the things is iOS stuff.
Well, I'm not trying to shit
No,
on
no,
you.
not at all, not at all. I'm
Yeah,
not
he
a
is.
fan. I'm not a fanboy, whatever.
Yeah.
I think
After
these
he
days
puts
with the
the-
phones, especially, like
Punch him.
if you find, okay, we get the.
Let's go.
No, okay, let's go.
I've got the
Edited
weight. You've
sound
got the
effects
reach.
here.
I think any decent new phone is going to be a solid thing for what people generally want to do. The computer literacy thing is interesting. Two things on that is one, I think I've heard a lot of people talking about that. You know, when cars were new, you had to you basically had to be a mechanic as well.
Right?
And
he draws the same.
Yeah, maybe it was the same
lines.
article. And even up into the 50s, 60s, and 70s, you'd spend the weekend working on the car.
Yeah.
And now, if you open the hood on most modern cars, you wouldn't be able to do anything except maybe change the oil anyway, because it's all electronic, it's all components, it's all there's no user serviceable parts. But the cars are more reliable, they're generally more useful, and you don't have to worry about it. I don't know anything about cars.
Yeah.
I drive it around as I need to occasionally, but that's about it. I think smartphones, iOS devices, Android devices, at least the ones that you get with all the standard stuff put onto it.
Yeah.
People just use it like they use a Toyota Corolla.
That
They
is
just
true.
drive it. They don't care, and if it breaks, you reinstall it, or you just get a new one.
Yeah.
Or whatever, or you take it to somewhere. And that's sort of what's happened. I mean, on the other hand, I think the secret weapon that actually was one of the things that helped Apple survive through the late 90s or into the early 2000s until they got back on their feet again, was that with OS X, they had pretty pictures on the front, but deep down it was a Unix machine, which meant they got the mind share from all the sort of the hardcore sort of nerd types, and there was suddenly in the 90s you never saw any programmers with a Macintosh. And then by about 2005, 2006, everybody had them.
Yeah.
And it was amazing how much it switched.
Well, they'd moved from their own architecture to an x86.
Yeah, that helps as well, obviously. Yeah.
Again, I'm not shitting on the Apple brand.
Oh no, not at all. But I'm just saying it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it can also be traced back to just a general lack of what's the word I'm looking for? A general lack of thought, like putting thought into things and actually trying stuff out. And that's one of my favorite parts of the whole training program that I'm a part of here. Is I try to hammer home the point that you should not be scared about breaking your phone by pressing buttons.
Right.
There is very little that anybody I've ever met in a training session, there's very little that any of them could do to permanently fuck up their phone.
Right.
And that's the point I try to hammer home. Play with it. If you have half an hour, play with it. My favorite clients are the ones who, before an appointment, they're 20 minutes early, so they sit in their car for 20 minutes and play with it. Yeah. And then they come in saying, well, some of the questions I did have, I don't have anymore because I figured it out. But now I have new questions.
Yeah.
And they want to go deeper and deeper and deeper. I guess it's that, desire to want to learn more. The article I was reading brought up the example of like a student's computer, quote, not turning on, and they raise their hand and say, my computer won't turn on, and then the teacher walks over and flicks on the monitor.
Yeah.
And it's it's that lack of even trying at this point.
Yeah, but that's always been an issue with computers. I mean, if you go back 15, 20 years, you get the my cup holder is broken. You get.
Do you know how to repair a cup holder? Because my cup holder is broken.
You do it with crazy glue.
Sweet.
You get a lot of people, like I was a tech in those days, and my cup holder is broken is something that I heard twice on the phone. Like, that's not a cup holder, that's a CD tray. Don't put a cup in there.
Oh. Okay, hold on. Can you repeat that? I want to take a note.
Well, we don't use CD trays anymore, so you could use it as a cup holder now. I don't think
it's a retractable cup holder. It's awesome.
Yep.
How did they break it?
Well, you put a big heavy mug into it.
You put a big heavy mug and it snaps off.
Oh, man.
Are you from the past?
You do know what a button is. So yeah, well, speaking of shitting on Apple, Sony announces PS Vita TV, which is there to compete with Apple TV. I really don't care. I don't.
It's
watch
another thing
Apple.
I'll never own.
Yeah,
it's on the PS Vita.
But it is a plug-in thing for TVs that, like, everyone's making plug-in things for TVs now of various kinds. There's that Google one that just came out that you just plug in and it streams your stuff in.
Yeah.
And but I think what the interesting the Sony one does, you can play games straight from the device.
Yeah, you
onto
can
the
stream
TV.
them onto different TVs in your house. You can plug it into your PS4 and stream.
So it's a console.
Stream the game to another TV separately in your house.
Okay.
So you could.
I have access to a PlayStation 4. And I'm like, I don't know, the whole thing. It just seems really weird.
Yeah,
you could don't ask me, man. I don't do the console thing.
I guess.
Computer games.
But I think sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could stream your Vita to your PlayStation 4 to Twitch to a computer to a TV. Just
keep cycling until your whole house explodes.
Have you ever seen that video of the guy doing a web help thing? And he opens, he like goes on the website for the web help, and he sees that he could he could watch the live video of what he's currently doing, and he's like, "Oh, what happens if I click this?" And then it goes, "Oh, what happens if I click this? Oh, what happens if I click this?" And he's like, "Ah, what's going on? Ah, what's going on? Ah, what's going on? Whoa, no, whoa, no!" And it just keeps going and getting louder. That's what Sony's trying to do. Sony's trying, between that and the robot internet, the humanity is doomed.
We are so doomed.
It's perfect.
Especially now, nobody knows how to use a computer.
Exactly.
You don't my phone
even
told me to do this.
understand
I'm going to walk off this cliff now.
But I think after falling.
But I think the big end game for a lot of this is to have some kind of, like, instead of like an Apple TV or one of these Sony things, is to have that be your game device or have some kind of like your Apple TV will stream a game to your TV and you use your phone as a controller. And I'm sure the same idea with Android's working on these kinds of things as well.
Here's my question.
Yeah.
What I'd like to do is stream porn from my phone onto the TV and then have my Xbox grow legs and then just like shuffle over to me and start giving me oral
masturbate.
There you go.
Masturbate like a wild.
when does that come out?
Well, the
Oculus
PS4
Rift
has
might
an
do that, I'm not
attachable
sure.
dildo that will.
Wonderful. Well, hold on, a dildo. No, that's not going to do it for me.
Well, you can always use the
Although I
tray
am
side.
used to being fucked by
Yeah,
my
you
console
can.
developers, so
You can always just pop out the tray and
The
pop
cup
it
holder.
in
Your
there.
cup holder.
You mean the cup
Yeah,
holder?
the cup holder.
Okay.
Oh, dear.
The cock holder.
It's going to be one of those shows.
Gonna be.
It's already started. I'll grant. Blizzard has hired a lobby group to represent the video game industry in the U.S. government because they have a ongoing investigation into how video games make people violent. Personally, people are violent all the time. I don't think video games made them violent. Their father beating on them did. But that's just me.
I have watched a movie where a doctor sews people's mouths to their assholes. I have read a comic book where two people are gang raped by zombies while their daughter is ripped in
pulled
half
apart.
and above them, raining the guts down onto them. Yes, I'm talking about
Necessary crossed
Woo!
reference.
We got it down. Okay, guys, we're 21
We
down.
we're good.
I've played a game where I've beaten people to death with a giant purple dildo. And I can honestly say that none of those have had more of an impact on how fucked up I am than family road trips down to Maine. Right? Like it's your family life. And I mean, if you're gonna go and beat a person with a giant purple dildo because you played it in a video game, you're fucked up regardless.
Yeah.
You know, and you know what? Fuck those crazy people. I mean, I know it's usually the news that latches onto this shit.
Yeah.
But if any crazy person actually then blames video games, fuck them.
Well,
It's never going to be the fucking
First
video
of all,
game.
people are violent. That's
Yeah.
a fact. I mean, and you know what? I've sat and I played violent video games. I've played stuff like Assassin's Creed, and you sneak up and you stab them, and there's this really gross spurt of blood. You know what? It has never got my engine revving like watching two boxers fight for real.
Yeah.
Watching a real UFC match, or even wrestling, like watching that. Nothing has got my Irish up than being in a crowd with all that energy, watching two guys beat the shit out of each other. That has driven me closer to violence than ever playing video games has. I think that people blame stuff like violence on video games because it's an easy distraction.
It's
It's
something
not.
it's something they don't understand.
But it's also something that's easy to blame this stuff on. Like,
Because they don't
Yeah.
the people who are making the policy decisions don't do those things.
They watch boxing but they don't play
Exactly.
Call of Duty or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
yeah,
It makes it an easy target.
yeah. But
And
it's- go ahead.
I think one of the things is I've heard this about the computer industry as well, is that they've been very behind in lobbying and getting in the way things actually work in Washington and Ottawa and various other places is who has the most money for lobbyists for a lot of the time, and that's where
And Blizzard has a lot.
yeah, and these are industries that they're making $100 million video games now. The film industry has lobbyists. The boxing,
so
the
what
sports
they're
industry
saying-
has lobbyists.
What they're saying is
you know.
that the U.S. government wants its kickback. You're
It
going to
might-
have to.
You're going to have to get in there and lobby, or
Yeah.
else the
Well, lobby
various
is
other-
just
yeah.
lobby is a correct term for bribery.
Sure. Yeah. But I think the industries that need various that haven't lobbied much, they keep getting on the wrong end of legal stuff, tend to have to.
Well, and now that Blizzard and what is it, Blizzard Activision or something?
Yeah,
they're once they start lobbying, other video game manufacturers are going to do the same thing. You're going to see it'll just be like any other lobby group. Only this one will be saying there is no conclusive proof between video games and violence in children. Just like when I was a kid, they were saying there is no conclusive proof between Bugs Bunny and violence in children. It's been something that they've been complaining about forever.
There was the comic censorship in the 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
Oh
my God, who will think of the children?
Of course, yeah.
I'm just picturing someone like censoring stone wall cave drawings for the children.
Yeah.
They've been doing it for that long.
Oh yeah.
You can't let them. The kids are too young to see drawn boobs. Don't. That circle with the dot in the middle? That's the sun. That's not a boob. Keep moving, son.
Well, I don't know. I'll never understand how it's okay to see a television show on cable, like basic cable, where a guy gets like shot in the head or people get blown up. But the second you show a single boob. My God, hide your children.
Well,
they're being corrupted.
It's because most of...
Well, they're scared of this. They're scared of sex. That's fucking Puritans.
Yeah.
That's who founded their fucking country.
Yeah.
And, you're talking about showing a single boob. Is that really sex?
No, it's not.
Exactly.
At all. But, like...
That's boob.
And then you can go even further and, like, scenes that show violence toward women without actually showing any nudity is okay.
Yeah.
But then
you can beat the crap out of a
woman
as long as she has her clothes on. But those clothes come off.
And the second
we're going NC-17.
The second she acts as her own sexual being, as a consensual partner in
it would
sex,
be her fault.
And all of a sudden, holy shit! What are we showing? Anyway, it's all the same bullshit.
Well, speaking of violence and sex, Rockstar Games.
We're doing good.
That's all you need to say.
Very nice segue. Very well done, sir.
GTA 5 comes out on the 17th, and then October 1st, Grand Theft Auto Online comes out. Now, I've played GTA. I played the original GTA. I played GTA 2 when top down.
Yep.
And then I played GTA 3. That was the one in LA, right?
And it was Liberty City. I think that was 3.
Yeah.
And then there was
Miami, 3, and there were like so many.
And then
spin-offs.
Vice City was
the
Miami type one.
Anyway, so I played it. I'm not a big fan of it, and it's not the violence, though I do enjoy the thought of, hey, here's a moral lesson for you. If you run over people, you can run back and pick up their money. But I'm not big on the sort of undirected storyline. Here's the story, but you could go anywhere and do anything, and it just gets so big you forget what you're supposed to be doing.
That's why I've
like
never been able to do Fallout, really, or Oblivion, or Skyrim, because it's too open.
Yeah.
I want a storyline to follow.
You should just play Saints Row the Third. You
I've
could follow
heard that's
that
awesome, actually.
It really. I haven't played the fourth one yet, which I hear is just like ridiculously
What
crazy.
is it?
Saints Row the Third. That's the one where you can actually beat somebody to death with a giant purple dildo.
Oh,
See?
okay.
Yeah.
He wasn't just making that up.
No, I
One of my favorite missions, like you're part of a gang, and a bunch of crazy shit happens. Like it starts as a gang war, and then like an anti-gang task force gets called in. So then you're fighting the U.S. government, and they have like futuristic mechs and tanks and bullshit. But it's like a GTA game, except it's
Crazy.
yeah. It takes all that ridiculous shit and just dials it up to 11. Like the giant purple dildo. The character creation is ridiculously customizable. So I've seen people do a Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator. The other day I saw somebody do an Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze character. I've seen people do like Incredible Hulk designs that then like talk in like really squealy girly voices. But my favorite mission of that game is where the mayor, who happens to be Burt Reynolds, voiced by Burt Reynolds, then sends you on a zombie killing mission. It's anyway, it's just ridiculously fun and just craziness. So play that one. You'd enjoy that.
It's console.
They have it on computer.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm pretty
I'll
sure.
check it out.
I'm pretty sure it's on Steam.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
That sounds.
More to your liking.
Yeah.
It is still open world and open concept.
Well, and I question, like, I don't know what everybody else's thoughts on that. I like to have like a mission in a way that I'm going. I can develop my character, but just wandering through the streets of the game, waiting for something to happen, or looking for something to happen. That's not my thing.
It can be that if you want, but it can be very directed if you want it to be. So I'm waiting till the price goes down in the fourth game, but
I liked with the Grand Theft Auto just driving around and listening to the radio because
it really is good music.
They spend like a lot of time making the really good radio stations.
And
like
you obey every traffic law while you do that.
You try to finish the game obeying all the lights.
Actually, it's really
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
Like really hard. First of all, the people in the game are very bad drivers.
They are.
They change lanes with no like Quebec bad driving. Like there's just I think I'm just gonna pull off to the side of the road for no reason and stop in the middle of a highway. I like that one. I like the ones that stop in the middle of a highway.
But then you can actually, unlike the real life, you can actually go to rocket launcher out and blow them
Yeah.
off the highway, and it's actually kind of cathartic.
It is.
Keeps you from being violent. You see, it's actually
And
Checkmate,
it comes full
government.
circle.
Now the government should be used to acting on anecdotal evidence, so
There you go,
we'll
there you
take
go.
that as
you go.
fact.
But yeah, I saw the budget for the game is
It was like 266 million.
Yeah,
Which
Um,
went up to
GTA
GTA
9?
5.
Oh, okay.
now that they said included marketing. So if it's like a Hollywood movie, that's half the budget's marketing and half the budget's production.
They have been putting a lot into marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's been all over Reddit, the gaming subreddit, but I imagine that some of that would have to be.
A bit of turf.
Oh, like some of it is those Rockstar guys to
Yeah.
throw that on there, and you know it would only make
Well,
sense.
I mean,
like it's what a
rights
smart company
alone
would do.
for stuff is going to run you
for those
fairly
awesome music
pretty-
stations.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to cost you a fair bit.
Yeah.
Now, there's all sorts of stuff that I'm sure they're buffering that they don't include. Like every single billboard you see in the game is a licensed space in the game. So if you see a Coca-Cola billboard, you can be absolutely certain that Coca-Cola paid for that.
Oh yeah. Well, I always liked. I think it was Burnout Rampage or something, like one of the first Burnouts to come out on the 360, where the point of the game was to crash your car into other cars, basically. Like they had ads, I think, that were thrown in the game from actual advertisers, and that was.
Yeah.
It's always weird when you see that. You're like, that's a real thing.
It's been going on a long time.
Oh, I know, but to me, it always weirds me out. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I should be seeing a fake advertisement.
Well, you'll know that the game is getting long in the tooth when the billboards all start telling you about this one weird tip for for reducing your belly or something.
Doctors hate him.
Doctors hate him.
Find
Yeah,
out why.
you'll know that the game is beginning to fade out. Like it's overstayed its welcome. And
No, it's. I don't know. I'm kind of excited for GTA 5.
they always
play
make
it
them
for
look
like a
good.
year.
You know, they. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's no female playable characters in GTA 5, but when they go to the online, you'll be able to play female characters. But like they say in an article, it's pretty testosterone fueled game, and the story is done from the point of view of 3 guys. So why would we have a playable character?
Well, I mean, it does bring up the question, well, when you were writing it, was there no point at which... Like, I'm playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
I really don't give a shit. But, you know, it does beg the question, like, at no point when you were writing it did you sit down... Did nobody say, like, well, is there a place for a female character here? I'm sure somebody said it, but... You know, why was that conversation?
I don't think it was said like that, though. That's far too respectful.
Yeah.
Given the female non-player characters I've seen in the Grand Theft
Yeah,
Auto
that's kind of...
games previously, there's not a lot of space. Although, it would be an interesting...
There's your mom and hookers that you can shoot and take
Right.
their money. Those are your female characters in Grand Theft Auto.
This really clingy girl that you need to take out bowling a bunch of times.
Right, there's sort of things like that. It's very much,
That's when I stopped playing GTA.
Escort
4.
missions.
Keep in mind, the only escort mission that I remember playing in Saints Row the Third is a mission where you have to drive a car with a tiger in the passenger seat. And if you drive too ridiculously, it starts attacking you and can kill you. So, like, your job is to keep it nice and calm.
Sudden movement.
So that's a fun mission. So
don't break too
there goes
hard.
my phone.
Don't break too hard. The tiger will eat you.
That's a good mantra to go through life with. Just
that's a bumper sticker.
Don't break too hard.
The tiger will eat you.
Hey, PigMonkey, I'm going to steal your mic for a second. I was just reading about the female character thing in Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah.
And the dude that created it said that he felt it wouldn't be right to try to force a female character in.
Okay.
Just for the sake of making it even. Because he says it's a very masculine style game, and he said that he could have done it, but it just wouldn't have made much sense. So I get that. At least he's not being too corny about it. He's just being like, look, we would have had to force a female main character, and
that's fine. I was just wondering, like, had somebody else been writing it, could they have made a story that didn't feel forced, that had a female character?
That reply seems to be, like, coming from after he's written, like, I could have put a female character in it, but, like, while he was writing it, like, when he was coming up with the concept, could a female have been placed in there?
Without forcing it.
Yeah,
and I
think it could have, but...
It probably could have, but that's not where his mind went, and, you know... I don't think it's the end of the world. I don't know what... Are people giving him flack for this?
I imagine some probably
I
are.
imagine there are some organizations that are waving banners and
well,
saying,
why like, I don't know, why isn't one of the main characters of Asian descent? You know, why isn't one of the main characters of
look, you're making more
South
problems
American
for
descent?
them now.
I know.
You're going to have like a whole bunch of organizations on them now saying, why aren't it?
Yeah, no, I know. My thing, like, again, like, I think that it would be wonderful if we as a society and we as individuals could, you know, come up with stories so freely and step outside of our comfort zones and our norms and blah, blah, blah. But he wrote a story, it sells, and that's it.
Well,
so
it's
I don't think, again, he wasn't trying to be a dick about it.
Yeah. No, he was just saying, like,
in the grand scheme of things, it's a game about being a
mobsters,
horrible person.
Yeah.
So, you know what? If women don't fit into the mold of being that horrible a person, hey, good for women.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I want to play a woman who's going to walk up and shoot a guy in the face.
Play Saints Row the Third.
Hey, Vasquez, you ever been mistaken for a man? No, have you? Yeah, that worked. She was tough.
Yeah.
Aliens, in case you... Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure. So.
Oh, no.
Oh, we got it.
Okay, I figured if anybody would. Yeah.
I guess. Leo may not have known.
Okay.
Not going to say anything.
Good movie. Good movie. You should see it.
But yeah, so GTA. And finally, the final thing I have is that there has been an online petition to have a Loki movie made.
That would be cool.
Really?
I don't know.
Do you, like, honestly,
One more-
I would go to the Marvel geek here. Is there enough to do a Loki movie?
Yeah,
Now, when you say
And portray him as what? Like, what would
an anti-hero.
what?
Okay.
End up in Elfheim or something
you
like
could
that?
do many things. I mean, it all depends on where they go with the next film. But I mean, Loki's always been looking out for number one, but he's also, there's all these like weird elements, like where he's yearning for his father's love, and then it's like, well, which father? He's jealous of his brother. At the same time, he's often been portrayed as not really a bad guy, just like kind of a dick. So, I mean, maybe he goes off and just decides to kind of forge his own way. It could be like a fish out of water story, or you could go and go to another world and he like kind of paints himself as a god, because, well, he is a god, and then follow his misadventures there. Like, I don't know, have you ever read Jack of Fables? It's a Fables spin-off. It follows Jack, who's just this really big prick. And it just follows his misadventures of him being a dick to everybody and still somehow making it ahead sometimes.
Not really ahead. Just
Not really
running,
ahead, just
running from place to place away
and never
from
learning
people.
a lesson ever. Occasionally getting a lucky break. So I mean, it could be a story like that. I think it'd be fun. Plus, Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, and he's good in the role.
Exactly.
Like, it's
he'd carry it. He'd make the film. So I don't know. I think it'd be great.
Yeah.
And the more Marvel movies, the better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not enough Marvel movies.
No.
never enough Marvel movies.
Oh well, when they make Cloak and Dagger the movie,
I will watch that every day.
Every day.
Every day. Now I have to do it because I said I would, but I don't give a shit because I'm watching a Cloak and Dagger movie. If they make a Cloak and Dagger movie, that to me tells me that they have made other movies as well. And I will,
There's
regardless,
a lot of movies that
They'll
ought
make
to
before
come
they get
out
to there.
Before they hit
and
Cloak and Dagger.
there will be.
There's got to
Although-
be a Power Man and Iron Fist movie.
Technically,
Oh, yeah.
no, okay.
Who would you cast for Power Man and Iron Fist?
Power Man and Iron Fist. That's a hard one. Right now,
Yeah. If it were being filmed starting December.
okay, I'm probably brutalizing his name. Maybe somebody can help me here, but Idris Elba. He was in Pacific Rim.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see him as Power Man.
Yeah. Would be really
This
interesting.
guy, Josh Lucas.
Who's that? Where's he from?
He played
I can see it.
he played like the kind of dickish contractor in Ang Lee's Hulk movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, got like all beat up all the time.
Yeah.
I could totally picture, and that's the
He's
face
got
that came in my head when I thought of Iron Fist.
Yeah, you could definitely. do
Josh
that.
Lucas. I'm calling it right now. Josh Lucas, Iron Fist.
Start a petition.
Okay, yeah, we'll do it.
Well, we should have really. You can go for Heroes for Hire because I'd love to see. You could do Cloak, Dagger, and.
Oh no, I want what I'd want them to do for, and I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. You want?
I have a really big soft spot for Heroes for Hire.
Do you?
And just like Damage Control and like
Yeah.
all the really shitty
Low
small
level.
stuff. Yeah.
Low
The
level
street
heroes.
level.
Yeah,
It's all
that's
about the
best
streets.
fun.
And it's about like, okay, I have superpowers and I'm really down on my luck and I don't want to be a villain because I have morals. Okay, I'll make a buck being a hero.
Yeah.
It makes sense. So I'd love to see, instead of entering with Luke Cage and
Well, they're
Iron
the ones who
Fist.
started the Heroes for Hire.
They are. But I would rather have the film open with them kind of passing it on to Colleen Wing and Misty Knight, who took over the mantle of Heroes for Hire in the newer series. I'd love for that to kind of be the dynamic, and like Luke Cage and Iron Fist are now like official heroes, so they're off doing-
Avengers.
Yeah, well, maybe not Avengers, but like the same tier almost, where like they're actually like they made their way in the world and they're kind of doing their own thing. and then like at some point in the movie, so at the beginning of the movie they're kind of handing the keys over, and then like at some point in the movie, like they come back and like you see why they are who they are. I don't know.
I don't know. I liked Iron Fist. He was one of
Iron
my
Fist
favorite,
is great.
He's one of my favorite Marvel heroes.
Yeah. Did you read A versus X?
No.
He played a pretty big part in that one.
Oh, really?
So yeah.
Was he a bad guy?
No.
No.
The only bad guy in that was Cyclops. Fuck Cyclops.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
I prefer not to.
Yeah, that's fine. That's personal preference.
When he blows his load, he leaves a hole in the ceiling.
It's gonna be that.
He's got a special ruby condom.
I'm not looking at you.
I know you're not.
It's one of those episodes.
Every episode is
Every
one of those
episode.
episodes.
It was one of those.
It happens
Clearly you're
this
not
way.
one of our less than 30 listeners.
Do you guys have anything that you...
No, just I don't know if I bring up that I'll be doing having a little sales booth at the Geeks vs Nerds coming up.
Oh, yeah.
For Starship Start Here. I actually have a new T-shirt design that's coming out that I hope to have a few at least printed by the time in time for the show.
Awesome.
So because those have been kind of fun and so working on because fall is when you get the HalCon and everything else like that. So getting all the stuff back into gear. And Christmas and New Year's, I got a calendar again for the next year.
Nice.
And so it's been fun. So getting all back into gear for that, which has been good. So this next week will be the big launch some of the new material.
The kickoff. You're
Yeah.
going to be doing it as a vendor promotion at
Mhm.
Geeks versus Nerds. That's awesome.
Yeah. So
Well, I want to thank Leo
Thank you.
and Andrew for coming out. And
I don't want to thank either of you, but I will.
Well, thank them.
I know, even though
Thank
I'm
you.
not an iPhone, I'm sorry.
I'm PigMonkey,
I'm Alex.
and that's the show.